So we're looking at marcato in 4, and the most important thing to know about this is it's right at the heel, so it's actually right on the metal part. That's where it starts, right there. You can see I've got a little bit of crusty rosin there. That's because we actually use that part of the bow. And I'm just going to do it on D, and I'm going to do it just on the G string, because I don't actually want to have too much ringing from the open string. And I've muted the other strings with my fingers as well. So, because this one's quite percussive, you have to make sure that you're not getting too much of the ringing from the other strings. So it's just a simple stroke right at the heel. You can hear that there's a little bit of a click there from the silver part. So that's just to get a percussive sound.
Do you want to maybe like play a scale like that so that we can hear notes move a little bit?
Sure. So, alright.
Cool. So that's any time that we see staccato notes like this.
So what we have here is a marcato in 2. So the difference is that you've got a strong beat and a weak one. And so what you do is you start off the string for the strong, and then the weak one is from the string. So you get something that sounds a bit like this. I'm going to do the same thing starting on the D, on the G string. So you can hear the first one has that same percussive sound as we had in the previous marcato, but this one, only every second note is actually from off the string. The second one is from the string. So if I do that in a scale, it should sound like this. There you go. So this one's a little bit different. It's still a rhythmical technique, so it's still percussive and it's still at the heel. But this one, you start off the string for the anticipation with the accent, and then it's just an up bow. So it's down, up, and then a gentle down bow there.
Do you want to scribble in the bowing really quickly?
Yeah, sure. So we have down, starting from the heel, off the string, up, on the string, down, on the string. So just show you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. I'll show you again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. What we have here is we have a rhythmical melody, and the principle here is all of the notes that have accents underneath it are down and really strong. The ones that don't are generally up bows, except for when they're too fast. So we've divided it into down, up, and they're as soft as possible. So you really want the accented notes to stick out. This is called a rhythmical melody. So I just showed that to you before. I'll show you one more time. I'm doing all of the staccato bows as down, all of the accents. So yeah, so faster. Okay, so what we have here is the arrastre, or the drag, and that's literally what you're doing with the bow. So you're starting close to the heel, and then you're just collecting the heel into your hand, basically. So, and it's always written like that, so and you're anticipating the beat a little bit. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, like that. So you're going into the note, and getting louder towards the downbeat. Okay, so what we have here are again some just little sound effects essentially. So when you see this kind of thing where you have two notes, one zhuzhing up to another one,
Zhuzhing.
it's called a latigo or a whip. And the most important thing to know with this, besides getting the timing all together, is that it doesn't go to a harmonic. You're going to a non-pitched note. So we don't want it to sort of ring out. I can't actually get it there. Like that, we don't want it to ring out afterwards. So you're just going up to a high pitch and cutting it off. So this one can be sort of, it can be fast or it can be slow, and it just depends on how it's written. So that one would probably be a bit more of a fast one, like that. The chicharra, or crickets, it's meant to sound like crickets, I suppose, a little bit, but basically you're going to do that on the other side of the bridge, and it's usually somewhere on the binding of the D string. So you're not doing it on any of the other strings, it's always on the D string. And you just like hold your bow in a slightly different position because you need a little bit more sort of weight for this one. So you've just got your thumb underneath there, you've stretched this first finger out a little bit, just so that you can lean into the string a little bit more. So you can see how I'm pushing into the string there. And you can try, when you're practicing this one, just slow bows, because you want to get that really, that crunchy noise. You don't want it to sound too kind of like that. It's got to have that real deep kind of crickety noise. But what you usually do is you have like faster rhythms on it. You'll never be going like that. 'Cause that's just painful. So yeah, what we've got here is, but you know, you've got all kinds. I mean, it just depends. It's always written like that. You've got little crosses on the heads. When you see that, you know that it's going to be chicharra. Usually Owen has written chicharra above it as well, just in case. So, etc. So, just a little cricket for you. Okay, so what we have here is we have a mixture of freseo and a rhythmical melodies. Starting from here, we have the freseo, and all that you need to know is that you need to agree on how you're going to perform them as an ensemble, because the timing is quite free. So I'll play that, but then what we're coming into here is in the rhythmical, we have another kind of arrastre or an anticipation, and this one is done starting at the tip of the bow, and you're going to do so you do a little bit of it's a bit of a triplet at the tip of the bow, just a little ricochet bow. And then you continue with an up bow at the heel, and then a down bow at the heel, so that the down bow would be the accented note.
Can you play us that passage?
So that part would be... Okay, so you've got da-ga-da-dum, da-ga-da-dum, dum, dum, dum. So the da-da-dum, you got da-ga-da-dum, dum, bim, bam, bum. Well, that last one's a down bow. So,
Can we hear that whole passage, maybe?
yeah, we'll go from the beginning of that passage. So I'll show you the phrasing that we have agreed on as a group for the freseo. So. so what we have here is some more examples of the phrasing that you get. So you have here an arrebetado. Is that, no, it's pelotita, isn't it? So, and all that is that, oh, I've got an apple sticker on my hand. All that means is that your it starts and you completely slow the tempo down, and then it gradually gets faster through there. And the way that they described it to us in Argentina is it's like a ball bouncing. So it's with that kind of increments that it's getting faster. It's sort of parabolic. And then through here we've got a mixture of open and closed rhythms. And open is when they're stretched out. Closed is when they're fast and it's leading into it. And it's hard because they're written in the same way each time here. So it's these two little quavers here that are part of a triplet. They were either opening or closing. So you'll see when I play the phrase that we're starting off. Now I think it goes open, open, closed, closed, and then closed, and then I think the last one's open. We'll see anyway when I play it. And then again, we've got that, we've got two different kinds here. I think the first one might be a pelotita, and the second one I think is more an arrebetado, so that's not the same pacing. So it doesn't actually increase in tempo in the same way. It's a bit more stretched out. So you'll hear the way that I phrase it when I play it, and that's the way that we play it as a band. So it's best that you just have a listen to the phrasing in your own space and have a look, try and play along with it so you get a feeling of how we stretch the rhythms around in this section. So it starts off quite slowly. So you can hear this one was much more stretchy in there. It was in a different kind of bounce to it than these two, which were just that gradual increasing towards the end. So that's probably just advisable to have a little listen to how I phrased those, because that's how we'll be doing it as a group.